to me, regardless of how much money you have, that's when you're happy, right? When you are content and you are satisfied and you are happy with everything. If I go to McDonald's and drive an old piece of shit and I got $1 billion, I'm no better than the person that's eating at McDonald's driving a piece of shit with no money. I'm no better, but I might be happy. And if I'm happy, well, then I'm better than the person that's making millions of dollars and he's miserable every day, spending no time doing nothing.
Being financially wealthy is only wealthy in one aspect of life. There's a lot of other aspects of life you can be wealthy in. If you're someone who has no friends, but you have a $50 million net worth versus someone who has a normal W-2 job, has a ton of friends, great family, loves what he does, I think that person's richer, the second person.
What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs today in the studio, folks. I got a real treat for you. Jason Lee. Jason Lee is in the house. If you guys don't know who Jason, what's up, Jason?
Hey, how you doing?
If you guys don't know Jason Lee, you're about to. JLMrealestate.com. At Jason __ Lee. Is that what that says?
No, it's just Jason Joseph Lee. No spaces, no periods.
On social media?
Yeah.
You changed it then?
No, I did not.
Did it used to be Jason __ Lee?
No, it wasn't ever that. I guess
then this says, I think it's 3 underscores. This is my team. Now, again, if it was, bro, I'd be telling you, dude, you got to change that shit.
No, it's not.
Nobody likes underscores at all, let alone 3 of them.
Yeah, no.
Why is that? Well, if I tell you it's Jason _ 3 times, then you'll do it. But if I tell you, if I show you, like you see my name on a car going by, you're never going to find me with that.
Never.
People don't understand that. Like, why do you do that? But anyway, so it's at Jason
Joseph Lee. No
Joseph
spaces.
Lee, Lee.
Yep.
Unlike me, Lea.
Yeah.
Now, believe it or not, my original name was Lee.
Oh, really?
Yes. Lee.
What happened?
Well, there was a gentleman by the name of Robert E. Lee. You ever heard of him?
Yes.
The old general.
Yeah.
Well, people didn't want to be associated with him because he was from the North and fought for the South. Or was it vice versa? But anyway, he fought for the opposite side. People were like, but you go to school and learn that stuff, Brad. I know, but you can Google it easier. But he fought for the opposite side. So the family that was related to them were getting ridiculed and, there was some issues. So they wanted to change the association with him. So they went from Lee to Lea. They just changed the E to an A. And then people started going, is that Leah? And I say, I don't know. Do you drink Tia? Because that spells Lee to me, even though yours does too. Yeah. That's not Leah. It's Lee.
Yeah.
Tea, just like a tea time.
Yeah.
It's tea. Lee, T, Lee, T, Lee. But anyway, Jason Lee's an entrepreneur and president and principal of the JLM Real Estate. I imagine that's you, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you 100% owner or is there a partnership?
It's just me.
Okay. And ultimately, all you do is buy and sell commercial real estate.
Yeah. I help investors buy and sell commercial real estate in San Diego County. And then I also buy some properties myself too.
When you say you help them, you sell them. You find it and sell them. You broker the deal.
Yeah. I broker it. I represent them. I find them. I list them. Both. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, you can't do it for the same customer, can you? Wouldn't that be a conflict? You can't list it and sell it at the same time.
Well, listing it is putting on the market. Selling is when it actually closes. But if you represent both sides, there can be a conflict of interest, but it can be done if done right.
Well, if I hired you to sell my shit, I want the most I can get for it. And then you're the one also buying it.
No. That would, that's a huge conflict of interest. No, I'm talking about like if I was representing you as a seller and then I was representing a buyer, if that buyer paid the highest price possible.
But what if you're representing the seller and the buyer?
But I'm not buying it, right?
No.
I'm
letting you represent me to the seller, and the seller's letting you represent me to the buyer.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
That should be against the law. That's a conflict.
But if you're selling a property, Brad, and
no, I'd be the dude sliding you like some grease under the table, going, dude, you make this go my way, I'll make sure you get 10 G's ghost cash.
That's illegal.
It is. Why would it be illegal?
It's not. I don't know if it's illegal, but it's definitely frowned upon to like.
Frowned upon? Listen, I don't care what shit's frowned upon. Okay. If it's illegal, I care. If it's frowned upon, by whom? Well, hey, that wouldn't be fair. You'd get all the business for yourself if you start greasing the wheels. Dude, that's called grease.
Yeah.
Vegas was built on grease.
True.
I mean, dude, if I went down to San Diego and started greasing everybody up down there, I'd be owning San Diego in no time. You'd be walking in and be like, Brad, how did you get in there, dude? Grease.
Yeah.
You put a little freaking do-re-mi in the right hands and shit happens.
Exactly.
And there shouldn't be anything illegal about that unless it was illegal.
There's a right way to do it.
Yeah,
for sure.
It should be.
Yeah,
like,
there's a right way to do it.
It's just money.
Yeah.
And not only that, I wouldn't be mad at someone that wants it. Like when I walk up to a nightclub, I can give them $100 bill. Boom, there is no security check. $100 bill, 9 times out of 10, they'll just let you in. Why? Because they like that $100 bill, and dude, it ain't that important. It's just a nightclub.
Yeah.
But anyway, commercial property is what I want to talk about because you know my boy Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
And he's not in real big to commercial. And I'm wondering, like, why not? Like, what does he see that you don't that makes him stay away from it? Or vice versa. Why is he staying away from it when you're freaking making millions? I'd say millions. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're making millions doing it. And he would tell you, well, stay away from it. Well, again, who do we listen to? You that's making millions, or Grant that doesn't like it? Who would we listen to if we were going to listen to one of you?
I mean, it's all opinion, but personally, I listen to me because I'm doing it. I'm in it every single day. Grant doesn't really understand commercial real estate, specifically in California. He's only been in really multifamily. So, yeah, that's what I'd say.
But you'll mess with that too.
I do. Yeah. We focus on multifamily and industrial.
Now, when you say we, don't be one of those dudes that say we and there's you at the office. Who's we?
It's me and 10 other agents.
Okay, so you got a nice little brokerage going, huh?
Yeah, we got a nice little team going.
Now, just in case somebody's listening going, damn, dude, this is perfect timing. I wanted to sell my shit. Where do they go? JLMrealestate.com?
JLMrealestateinc.com. INC at the end.
Dude, they got nothing right here.
It's all good.
It isn't. It's clown shit. You know what I call clown shit? That's clown shit, bro. Does your team do stuff like that?
I mean, no, but I thought they had it right.
That's funny. But anyway, so dude, I've always been interested in commercial real estate. You're what, 26 years old?
Yeah.
You're young and killing it in the game. Where'd you start? Like only 8 years ago you were graduating, right?
Yeah, 8 years ago I was graduating high school. Yeah.
Then what'd you do?
So I'm from Northern California.
Guarantee you went to college.
Yeah, I went to San Diego State. Yeah.
Okay. So you went to San Diego State to achieve what kind of a degree?
So my mom would tell you, my mom wanted me to be a biology degree and go to medical school. But 3 years into college, that eventually ate me alive and broke out of that and changed my major to communication and fell into real estate. That's kind of how it started.
And that's literally how it started?
Yeah. I mean, I was just so miserable and sitting in class all day about things I wasn't going to use in real life. I mean, have you ever taken organic chemistry?
No.
It's the worst class I've ever taken in my life.
I dropped out in 11th grade.
Okay. Well, yeah, I wouldn't wish upon that class on my worst enemy. That class, I was in the library.
Why'd you take it? You elected it, didn't you?
Well, I had pressure on me from my parents to go to medical school, and you have to take that class if you want to get in. It's a prerequisite. So it was forced upon me. And I was just studying all day long because there's a lot of pressure, because if you don't get an A in it or at least a B, you're probably not going to get to medical school because you got to have like straight A's and like a perfect MCAT, right? So that eventually just ate me alive. And I was just facing so much pain, so much pressure, didn't know what I wanted to do. And I just started to look every single place I could to find something else. And
which there could be thousands of people right now doing the same thing, especially nowadays when everybody knows college education doesn't necessarily pay that much.
No, it does not. I have a lot of friends that graduated and they're, in a 60 to 80K a year job, and it's a dead end job and they don't like it.
Dude, I have people that have PhDs working for me.
Wow.
They went to school for all that to get a PhD to come work for a high school dropout. So again, you don't need the degree to make the money is all I'm saying.
I agree.
I respect people that went and got a degree. I wonder what they learned. But if you got a degree to get an $80,000 a year job, well, then you fucked up.
Yeah.
Why? You didn't need the degree to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You could make more than that without a degree.
Exactly. Unless you're going to be like a doctor or a lawyer, you don't need to go to college. If you're going to be in business, all you need to do is create relationships and work for someone smarter than you.
Well, where do you think the best place to make relationships is? School?
That
Yes.
is the one positive part about
That's why I tell people,
Yeah.
go to college.
Yeah.
See, people always ask, Brad, because they expect me to say what all the gurus are saying. Fuck college. I don't say fuck college. I say go to college, my friend, and build as many lifelong relationships as you can. Leverage the networking, go enjoy, go party, go maybe find a spouse, go find something.
True.
But go. Why? Not for the education, not for the money, for the experience, for the relationships mainly. I mean, at the end of the day, dude, relationships is where money comes from.
100%.
Name someplace a dollar is derived other than a relationship.
I can't.
I don't think you can.
No, it comes from other people.
Some other relationship, some form of relationship, I'm telling you. So if people want more money, all they got to do is get more relationships.
Yeah.
If you don't have as much money as you want to have, you don't know the right people.
That's a fact. I do owe San Diego State so much because my girlfriend went to San Diego State, so met my spouse there. Probably will propose to her in like 1 or 2 years. So, found my partner.
She's listening to this. Any chance on accelerating that date? What if she's like, put a ring on her, I'm going to start, servicing other clients.
Well, I guess I got to expedite it then. That's a bad ultimatum.
I just closed it for you, girlfriend. Yeah. I just closed it for you. But anyway, So you got a good one you're happy with?
Yeah, so that was a big one. And then also, to your point, I met my old mentor that taught me the business at San Diego State at the Real Estate Society.
Relationship.
And that's why I also don't say fuck college, because it's a great way to meet people.
The best, one of the best, dude. At school, I'm telling you, when I dropped out of high school, it was hard as hell to find girls. Why? And when you did find them, guess where you were? Right back at the fucking high school. Oh. You're right. You were surrounding the nucleus of school. Like I quit school, but then I found myself going to it. Why? To see my friends and hang out with the chicks, and it was just stupid. But schools, man, wonderful place to make relationships.
Yeah. So how'd you make relationships then? How'd you get your first?
Well, you can make relationships other than college. Again, I mean, I built relationships out on the street. Know what I'm saying? I was on the streets. I was hustling when y'all was reading.
School of Hard Knocks.
You learn that way.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you do learn that way. I got a book called The Hard Way. Well, the reason I called it The Hard Way is because I learned it all the hard way, so you don't have to. And so now somebody says, well, should I get your book or someone else's? Look, both, bitch. Like, dude, listen, my book is going to show you things that if you don't know now, you will eventually know for sure. The question is how much is it going to cost you? Just like if I went out and do commercial real estate, dude, I don't need your ass to do commercial real estate, do I?
I mean, you don't need me.
I don't need you at all.
You don't need me.
I could fucking go out and succeed in commercial real estate, but I'll bet you I would succeed faster by tapping into the shit you already learned. The hard way, perhaps, too.
Yeah.
And the same thing with your mentor. The mentor that told you, I guarantee you were smart to listen, because most people won't. I wouldn't have. But most people won't listen to mentors, which is stupid, because that's the hack to success. I can tell anybody how to get whatever they want. You ready? Number one, figure out what it is. Because most people don't know what they want. They really don't. Ask them. Randomly ask some people, hey, what do you want out of life? They'll be like, what do you mean? Well, what do you mean? What do I mean? What do you want out of life? They'll go, I don't know. I guess, and they'll start thinking about it. Why? Because they haven't thought about it. Why would they have to think about it if they already thought about it? Why would they think about it if they knew exactly? They don't know exactly. We need to figure out exactly what we want. Mm-hmm. That's step one. Step two, then we figure out how to get it. Now, most people will be like, well, no shit, Brad. That's kind of obvious. And I say, yeah, but that's the easy part. They're like, what do you mean that's the easy part? How do I get it? I want to be worth $100 million. How do I get it? Well, you get it by finding someone who's already got it and figuring out what they did. And then you do what they did. And more than likely, you'll get what they got. So you figure out what it is you want. You figure out who's already got it, and then you do the work they did to get it, and I'll bet you anything you'll get it.
It's a fact.
And if you don't, you're going to be an exception, not the rule. You're going to be well, shit, dude. That didn't work. I ain't got no more answers for you then. But that does work.
Mm-hmm.
And I was too stupid to realize it. But it sounds like you, dude, being 26, you already had a mentor teaching you the business. That's smart, dude.
Yeah.
Was the mentor a relative?
No, I just met him at the college campus.
And is he rich and wealthy doing it now, or you surpassed him?
I definitely haven't surpassed him. He's like 20 years older than me. He's been a broker for a long time, owns a lot throughout California as well. So I definitely didn't surpass him, but maybe one day.
You know, I'm interested in commercial real estate. So, you know, we're going to talk offline because, again, I kind of want to put some money somewhere that grows. And, you know, like I was going to buy this building, but I got scared. I don't know commercial real estate. And my dumb ass would have bought this building with the hopes of evicting everybody. Now, would it be smart to buy a building that's fully occupied simply so you can boot everybody out?
It's only smart if you can significantly increase the income. So
what income? I'm going to boot everybody out.
Yeah. So, but if it's fully occupied when you buy it and the rents are significantly below market value. So let's say each tenant in here for average of.
Yeah, but I want to kick them all out.
Yeah, exactly. But if they're already paying market rent, it doesn't make sense. So
doesn't make sense to kick them out?
No, because they're already paying top of the market rent.
I know, but that's my point. I would have bought this building without even thinking about income. And that would be a mistake in commercial real estate.
Okay. So you weren't even thinking about income.
No, I was like, dude, I could turn this into like a campus and I could put a dock out there where there's fishing on the one that says no fishing.
Yeah.
We could stock that with fish. We could be fishing all day. We could be doing freaking, you know, we could build a fireman pole from the top to the bottom and like, you know, all kinds of just school hood shit.
So it's just going to be for your company, not for any kind of income, just for your company.
And that's stupid in commercial real estate.
Well, I mean,
because you know why? And tell me if I'm wrong, because again, you know more than I do. Why is because I bought it full, which means I paid retail for the building. Because if it was empty, it'd be worth less. Why? Because the income would be worth less. But I didn't realize that back then. So now I'm realizing it would be better for me to buy a empty building and turn it into that, or build, but never would it be better for me to buy a full building to kick everybody out so it's now an empty building. Because now what's that building worth to me? Less or more than when I bought it?
Well, I mean,
if it was filled with renters and I kicked everyone out, now is that building
but now
worth,
you occupy it.
Now I occupy it, but is that building now worth more to me or an investor? In other words, I depreciated the value because there's no renters anymore. There's no income. Now you could theoretically say, well, Brad, you could be the renter and it's the same thing. I understand, but like if I'm leaving the building, I'm selling the building, I'm not paying rent there anymore.
Yep.
But if they're like, well, I leased it to them, and I know there's ways around it, but generally speaking, an empty building is worth less than a full building.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
See? Like I didn't know that shit, dude.
Yeah.
You'd think that's common sense, Brad, but dude, there's people that don't know shit about commercial real estate.
Yeah. Commercial real estate in the simplest terms, it's all based on how much income can your property bring in, and the more income that comes in, the more your property's worth in the most simplest terms.
Is it net? Is it net or gross?
Net. Yeah. So
it has to be net.
Rent minus expenses. Yeah.
So if you're bringing in $100,000 in rent and your expenses are $100,000 to get it, that's not a very valuable property versus you're bringing in $100,000, you're spending 20, you're netting 80.
Yep. Your NOI, your net operating income is the key. Yeah.
So what's the formula for the NOI?
It's just the rental income minus, taxes, insurance, electric, water, etc. This all the expenses that come with running the building. So that's super simple arithmetic. It's just rent minus expenses per year. But
can you ever find that deal anywhere?
What deal?
Rent minus expenses.
that's every commercial real estate deal unless it's empty, right? So, but the good thing is that you can structure your lease to be a triple net lease, which is the tenant pays all the expenses. So if you were to go, let's say you own this building and you want to sell it in a couple of years, the best thing that you would do is to lease it to one or two tenants on triple net leases, which means they pay all the expenses. So they pay the rent and they pay.
Why would anyone do that? Because they have to?
That's a great question. Why would anyone do that? Because
this ain't a triple net lease.
yeah. It's all negotiable, but triple net leases are most common with like A credit tenants, like big companies, right? Like Starbucks, McDonald's, Walgreens. A lot of the big companies do triple net leases.
Well, they also build to suit.
Yeah. Yeah, that as well.
And by the way, why don't they just build their own and keep the equity? Makes no sense to me, because I have a buddy of mine that gets pretty much rich. I was going to say wealthy, but not quite wealthy, but rich by going out, picking out a piece of land, building to suit for Chevron or whoever his big people are, and they will literally sign a 30-year lease. He'll build it, turn around and sell it for freaking 3 times what he paid for it, make millions of dollars. And literally, I'm like, why doesn't Chevron just build it themselves and then own it? He says they're not in that business.
Yeah.
I'm like, weird.
Yeah. They stick to their lane. Yeah.
I know, but there's something to learn about that.
Yeah.
I got so many businesses. I'm thinking, man, did I spread myself too thin? So is this the only thing you do? Is commercial real estate?
Yeah. So yeah, we focus on specifically multifamily. So most people don't know this, but anything that's above 5 units and above, residential units is commercial, because it's commercial financing. Yeah. So 1 to 4 units residential, 5+ is commercial financing. So that's like most of my business, and then we do have the industrial office side that we also do as well. So
a duplex is residential.
Yes, 4-plex residential.
So have you ever seen a 5-unit deal?
Yeah, I own a 5-unit deal.
I mean, where do you find them? I've never seen a 5-unit deal before. Every apartment that I notice out of my head, it's way more than 5 units, and I've never seen a 5-unit apartment.
Well, I mean, I guess in Vegas there might not be as many. I don't know the market here that well, but in San Diego where I'm at, there's a lot of like what we call mom and pop style properties, like the 4 to 8 unit properties. Because back in the day, developers built a ton of small multifamily where I'm at. So it's kind of a weird market. Not a lot of people have those 5-plex, like you said.
Now, do you get to name the property if you buy it?
You can if you want. Yeah. People name it all the time.
I'm just messing with you. Because I always said if I bought like apartment buildings and shit, I'd give them all cool names.
People do that.
Helps with rent.
Yeah.
Helps with the brand, helps with the value.
It does.
What do you think when Grant calls his apartment building like 10X living?
10X living, yeah. I mean, he's trying to build a brand. So,
yeah, but wouldn't you rather live in, Angel Arms,
or like Paradise Apartments, something like
cool,
that. Something cool. Yeah, I mean, if I was a tenant, I probably would rather live there than a 10X living facility. I don't really understand what that means. If I was a tenant looking to live there,
well, 10X Riverwalk, which I own a little piece of that because I had to throw him 100 G's for one of his deals because he kept calling.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, Grant, I can make more on my own. He's like, brother, people think, why ain't my buddy in it if it's so good? And I'm like, okay, so you just want to be able to say I'm in it here. Here's $100,000. Well, apparently that fund bought 10X Riverwalk, which again, looks like a kick-ass A-class property. It's making money. I mean, I get a check every month. Not a very big one, but I get a check every month. And then I think to myself, well, why didn't I just do that myself? What did he have to go through to do that? What does it take to buy a multifamily apartment building? You don't need great credit because it's a business. You're looking for businesses that are generating net cash flow or NOI. Mm-hmm. And then you look and you go to a bank and say, hey, look, I want this. And if it makes sense, the bank will fund you the money, even though you're not necessarily creditworthy. They just are looking at the business aspect of things.
Yeah, that is true to a certain extent. But to answer your first question, there's nothing stopping you from doing that, what Grant's doing. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's just he's in that business, and you could be if you wanted to.
I could be, yeah.
Yeah, if you wanted to. It's just time, right?
Real estate takes time and knowledge, and I don't bullshit people. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, dude, I know how to turn your money around. Dude, I can understand. I can figure out how to go buy some apartments, but like I won't know all the tricks he does.
Yeah.
If someone said, Brad, should people invest with you or Cardone? I'd say Cardone's probably a better bet when it comes to multifamily right now.
Yeah.
Give me some time looking at it and I'll change that to me.
Yeah.
But right now, if someone said, well, who do you want to learn it from? Well, dude, multifamily, Grant knows his shit. I bet you know 10 times more than I know. Do you know as much as Grant knows? Well, I don't know, dude. You're only 26. How much experience can you get in 26 years?
I mean, I bought and sold 26 properties in the last 4 years. So,
successfully, obviously.
Successfully. Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
Portfolio values $50 something million. So
now when you say you've done that many transactions, is it like me coming to you saying, hey, I want to buy a building, and then you find me a building and then I buy it and you're saying that's you bought one? Or you bought one?
Yeah, so that's me buying them. So
dang, dog, at 26?
Yeah, that's me. Did
you start with money? Did your parents have money? Like, how'd you start? What was your first building?
My first building was a duplex that I turned into a fourplex.
Well, that's residential. We're talking commercial, bro.
Yeah, I started in residential, I guess you could say.
Okay. First deal was in residential. What was your first commercial deal?
First commercial deal was a 7-unit property.
Okay, so and you bought it.
Me and one partner, 50-50.
Now, did you find it and then get him to pay for it?
No, I found it, and then we both put in money 50-50.
And you split everything 50-50. Do you still own it?
Yeah. Yes.
Who controls it?
Me and him have to both have a say. Like, we both have to say we'll sell. We both have to say we'll...
See, by the way, dude, my advice, never to get into a situation like that again. Ever.
No.
51-49, bro.
51-49.
Yeah, or superpower vote, meaning we can do 50-50, but when you say we're selling it, we're selling it. Because, dude, when it's 50-50, you have to imagine that you're always going to agree.
Yeah.
What if you really wanted to sell it and you really thought it's time to sell and he's an idiot or he's a crackhead or he fucking went off the deep end and he's not wanting to sell it? What would you do?
It's a great point.
You'd say, then buy me out or do something. Well, I'm not buying anybody out and we're not selling it because me and you have to agree. So now you're what? Stuck.
Yep.
You're deadlocked. Dude, don't deadlock yourself, bro. Right now you are handcuffed to that person. Why would you do that?
I mean, I really trust the guy.
Doesn't matter. If you guys come to an impasse and do not agree, nothing can happen, which means you're deadlocked, bro. You're saying, I trust the guy. He doesn't have to screw you to just not have the same opinion as you.
Yeah.
Do you think we should sell? Yes. I don't think we should. Guess what? Guess who wins?
No one. Yeah, I guess you do. But here's the thing, though.
No. Think about it, dude. Because again, I win. Now, if I want to sell and you don't, who wins? You win. Yeah. So who has ultimate power? It depends on what you want.
The person who says no?
Yeah, but it ain't 50-50, dude. Someone has the power every time.
That's a good point.
And you want that power.
Yeah, decision making.
A lot of people are afraid to say, I want that power because that's unfair and that'll make me look greedy. Bro, I'm your new mentor, at least for an hour. You want that power.
Thanks, Brad.
You're welcome.
It's good advice.
Yes.
I never thought about it that way, but I mean, we're both super agreeable. We both make good decisions. He actually knows, he's 10 years older than me, so he knows more than me. So I didn't feel bad about it.
So again, you go with what he probably thinks. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, he's 10 years older. He's done it more.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get to say when Grant sells that building or not. If I could push a button right now and get my money back, I would.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean,
the return isn't that high.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it's not high. Yeah.
Dude, on $100,000, I'm getting $250 a month.
Oh. What's that a year? That's like
$3,000.
$3,000 a year?
No.
Yeah.
No, let's go. $250 is $200 is $2,400. And then 50 would be $600. Yeah, $3,000.
Yeah.
I'm
close
getting
to $3,000. Yeah.
I'm getting $3,000 a year.
That's like less than a 3% return.
Yes.
On cash flow.
Yes. Yeah. That's not good.
It's not good.
No, dude. I mean, I can buy tax liens and get 25%.
Yeah, you could buy government U.S. treasuries right now and get 5.5%.
So again, what do I say? I can't say shit because it's up to him because he knows better, dude. He's got the control.
Yeah.
And you sign your control away.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a buddy that you found, I ain't saying go break up with the partnership and, cause a problem. I'm just saying in the future, just remember, be mindful. That's all.
Yeah.
Whenever there's 50-50, dude, there's an impasse. Anyway, so you started buying the 7-unit with that dude and that went well. And then pretty soon you're just in real estate. Like, again, you're only 26. Like, how much time has spanned here?
So I guess I can give you a quick roadmap. So from 20 to 23, I was just banging the phones all day long, being a broker. From 20 to 26, I've sold like over 150 properties for about $275 million. I saved up all that commission and put it into real estate. and I've taken all the gains from real estate and put it back into real estate. So I've just kept compounding and reinvesting my profits.
So that'll make you richer than a foot up a bull's ass. And you just keep doing that, dude. You're going to be one of those friggin' billionaires. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's a fun game. So I just kept doing it. Obviously, I'm young. Obviously, I don't know everything, but it's been a fun ride so far.
Do you know all the tax advantages and loopholes and shit?
I do.
Do you just get a good attorney or accountant for that, or what?
Yeah, a tax attorney, and then I have a cost segregation specialist, if you know what that is.
Yep. They work for you full time.
That's super helpful. No,
can you still write
like
off 100% first year?
What was that?
Can you still accelerate it to the first year with that cost segregation?
It depends, but not 100%. Some assets it can be up to 80%, but usually I got like up to 40% first year on some assets.
I heard it was 100% for 1 year, wasn't it?
I can't give tax advice, but my attorney told me that for some assets it used to be that way, but now it's like 80 or 70 or something like that. Yeah. It used to be.
So what are some hacks when it comes to commercial real estate that you want people to know?
Some hacks I would say is that a lot of people think that you got to be old to be in commercial real estate because, you know, it's that typical old white guy in a suit kind of business, right? Super exclusive, but you don't have to be that smart to be in commercial real estate. Everyone thinks it's extremely tough with numbers and dealing with people and negotiations, but it's really not anything harder than what normal salespeople do. So I think that's one hack that I learned is it's not that much of a barrier to entry.
What if you're a realtor and you only sell residential and I want to flip to commercial? Can you teach me how to do it? Sell commercial shit?
Yeah, because I mean, it's a lot of it's the same skills. You just got to know some more numbers, right?
Isn't there more money though? Isn't there more money in commercial?
I think so, but a lot of residential people listening to this will probably say that I'm wrong because you can make a lot of money in both industries. Both industries have their pros and cons, but I personally think there's more pros in commercial than residential.
What's the commission on a commercial property?
Commissions are always negotiable. It's always what you and the seller agree to, but for something under $2 million, it's usually like 5%. And you split that if there's two agents, there's a buyer's agent and a seller agent. And then anything over 2 million, like 2 to 3 million is like 4.5%. And then as it gets higher, the commissions do get a little smaller.
So what if I were going to buy the Batman building in Nashville, Tennessee for $1.6 billion?
For $1.6 billion? When companies are selling properties that are worth that much money, there's usually like a fixed fee that the seller will pay. So maybe you'll get like, you know, $1 million for selling it or something. It's not a percentage if it's that high of a markup.
So they'll cap you sometimes?
Yeah, the big institutions will cap you.
So how do you get rich doing it? Just sell a bunch of them?
It's volume. Yeah, it's volume.
What about investing yourself in them? Because that's what you're doing too, right?
Yeah. I'm taking my commissions and investing it. Correct.
But now you become the building owner, and that's who's getting rich.
Personally, I think that's the way to grow wealth because, I mean, Uncle Sam loves you if you're just making commissions, right? As a business owner in California, you know, Uncle Sam's taking 40, 50%. So you got to park that money and take the tax advantages and grow that cash flow long term. And that's what I learned at an early age from people that I worked with that are my clients. So yeah, that's kind of my plan.
I don't know if that's Uncle Sam. That might be Uncle Chuck.
Uncle Chuck.
Yeah, you know, weird Uncle Chuck. He's trying to screw you.
Yeah.
Uncle Sam, dude, they want their hand in everything, especially in California.
Mm-hmm.
How are you faring in California with all that whackery going on?
You know, people complain about it, but people stay because, you know, the weather's beautiful. I mean, San Diego's a beautiful place to live.
I can't argue.
And you can't argue with that.
But San Diego doesn't really seem like California when I'm there.
It's a lot. The politics, in my opinion, are a lot better than LA and San Francisco, especially when it comes to real estate law.
San Francisco's garbage now, bro.
Yeah.
That city is literally destroyed.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
I'm from that area.
Have you been there lately?
Yeah, I was there a year ago.
Dude, I was there. Rough. I was there like 3 months ago, and it smells like an outhouse. You're walking around the city, dude, and there's like you're almost scared.
Yeah,
like there's people shitting right on the street.
Yeah, we were there for the Warriors finals game last year.
Were there people shitting on the street?
I saw a couple.
See what I mean? Like there's people shitting on the street.
Yeah.
Who's running that fucking town? Like, dude, if I were the mayor or the governor or the elected officials of that city, you would be not shitting on my streets.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that or disagree with that? And that'll tell me what you are.
I agree with that.
Okay, good. Then that makes you more conservative. You don't want people shitting on the streets either. Why are they letting people shit on the streets?
I'm not the expert to answer that question, but
do you think it's going to hurt the commercial business or help it?
I mean, people there are really struggling right now. Commercial brokers in San Francisco that are in like office and retail, they're struggling. Yeah, it's tough out there.
Well, dude, who wants to buy buildings when there's people shitting out in front?
Yeah. But also
because when you buy a building, it's intended to be, rent-based cash flow investment. And now I can't rent it because I got bums shitting out there. Now someone's going to be like, Brad, they're not bums. They're just homeless. Listen, I apologize that they're homeless. I wish I could help them all, but we can't. Only they can help themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to take the blame that there's homeless out there. All I can tell you is homeless will depreciate the value of a property. Period. That's the truth. May not be politically correct, but it's the truth. So if you've got homelessness in and around your commercial centers, you call my business Homeless Removal Services. No, I'm joking.
to play devil's advocate on that though, San Francisco may be a failing city right now, but I personally think it'll come back.
I hope so.
And when there's...
Did you say San Diego?
San Francisco.
Oh, I was going to say, because San Diego's still cool.
No. San Diego's fine. But San Francisco will come back, in my opinion. It's still like the pinnacle of California, in my opinion. And if you buy something there for a great price, there's opportunity, right? Like,
and not only that, you're right, dude. The weather's pretty damn nice.
Yeah.
And I think most of the people that I visit in California, they're all cool.
Yeah.
There's only a couple of wackies.
Yeah, just a couple.
And I think they left. They moved to Texas.
Yeah, but I mean, have you been to California lately though? There's been a lot of...
Yeah, we go there. We go there quite a bit.
Yeah. This year's been weird. It's been a lot of like gray skies and cloudy rain, but yeah, we'll see.
Well, there's weather manipulation supposedly.
Oh God.
I don't go that far, but supposedly there is. Why is there all of a sudden gray skies?
I don't know. They're calling it like El Nino or something, like weird winter, rainy
even
winter.
Even in San Diego?
Yeah. Southern California's been bad.
So dude, listen, what I want to do is share a little knowledge with the Bomb Squad. Now, I know right now there's probably some commercial people out there listening. What would you say if they're not doing as well as you and they want to? What would you give them a couple of tips?
Yeah, a couple of tips. I'd say the number one tip is you got to do the boring work. There's a lot of things that I still don't want to be doing in commercial real estate, but I know it generates business, so I keep doing it.
Like what?
Like making the calls every single day, talking to at least 25 people a day.
You do that?
I still do that, yes.
You don't have an appointment setter or a dialer or anything?
Well, I've got 10 people on my team that are dialing, but I still do it myself as well in my free time.
But even the dialing part?
Yeah, I still dial. Yeah. Just because, one dial could be worth multiple six figures. Like I know, but one dial could also be pawned off to someone that needs, maybe one of those homeless people that need a job. So you let them do the dialing, and then they only connect you with the people on the phone ready to talk. And now you talk to more people during the day because you're not doing any dialing. Theoretically. Yeah. Theoretically, yes.
I mean, if you're only calling a couple people a day, might as well just call them yourself. But I mean, if you're hiring a machine, I know owners or entrepreneurs that are sitting there dialing, thinking that they have to because, we're a startup, so I'm just going to call myself. When in reality, dude, if they said, hey, you call, you say this, and then all I'm going to do is be closing deals. So every day I'm walking in with laid out appointments. I'm not calling any of those people. I have no time to call those people because I'm too busy closing the ones someone else called and set up for me. But if that's not possible, or it's not likely, because I just make a couple calls a day, then I wouldn't hire nobody.
Yeah, and I have that team, and everyone's doing great at doing that. And I am the closer. I come in, help close the meeting. I'm meeting people face to face.
You looking for more of those? If the Bomb Squad's listening, they want a job in the San Diego area, can they hit you up? Because again, that sounds commission based. Yeah,
it's all commission based, and yeah, I'm looking for maybe one or two people max.
If it's all commission based, how come you wouldn't hire like 10 as long as they're good?
It's a great question. It's all commission based, and there isn't a lot of overhead. But the thing is, we've got a really good company culture right now. We've got a really good team that everyone gets along. We're all friends. So if I hire someone that doesn't fit in or doesn't have the same mindset as I do, because you have to have a very type A go-getter mindset. You have to be self-motivated, and not a lot of people are like that. So if I hire, 3 or 4 deadbeats just because it doesn't cost any money, it'll actually bring down the performance of my other people that are doing the best, because, you feed off people's energy in the office, right? So it matters.
That's right. It's 1,000%. I always tell people there's stallions and there's turkeys. And people say, well, Brad, how do I attract more stallions? And I say, well, you got to get rid of your turkeys. Because when you bring the stallions in and they see a bunch of turkeys, the stallions don't fuck with turkeys.
Yeah.
That's why when you see stallions running across the field, you never see turkeys in between their feet, because they ain't hanging with turkeys, dog. They don't run with turkeys. So you have a bunch of turkeys waiting on the stallions. The stallion rolls in and they leave because now you got turkeys. You're like, well, if I get rid of the turkeys, I won't have anybody. That's not true. You get rid of the turkeys, now you got spots for the stallions. Mm-hmm. And when they show up and they start noticing other stallions there, they're like, dude, this is bitching. And before you can attract any stallions, you should probably become one first, which means like you become the stallion so other stallions recognize you, which I'm sure that's what happens with you. You're attracting good, talented people because you are.
Mm-hmm. It's a fact.
But a lot of business owners out there, they're worried about hiring everybody else because they're no good at something, and they don't realize get yourself good, and then the talent starts to show up.
Exactly.
And if you keep them and you treat them well and you create, good compensation, I always say good compensation, good culture, and good organization. Mm-hmm. Compensation, culture, and organization. People want to know that there's systems and processes for shit.
Yeah.
That's how you keep the stallions. What do you think?
I mean, that's the best analogy I've heard. I think it's the number one way to grow a team. If you have a bunch of turkeys or C or D players, you're not going to move forward as a company. So I'm extremely...
See, I got to get off this podcast and go eliminate some folks here. You've motivated me, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point, though. I'm extremely careful on who I hire now, just because I have a lot of stallions, and I'm very grateful for that stallion culture. And I want to keep it that way.
Protect it, dude.
Yeah, I want to keep it that way. And I love going to the office every day. I love seeing that people are hustling, people are on the phones. It's a great environment. And if a turkey comes in and ruins that, it's my fault, because I'm the one that runs the company. So
when you walk into the office, are you all suited and booted with cufflinks and Mr. Cool, or are you dressed like this?
I'm usually, unless I have like important meetings, I'm dressed pretty casual. We have a pretty casual dress code in our.
So if you're going to meet me to go see this, 320 unit building, do you dress in a suit or do you show up like this?
I'm wearing a suit.
Yeah. So on an appointment or a sit or whatever, you guys dress up?
Yeah.
That's the customary, or is that just in your office?
If I don't have an appointment, or if no one in my office has an appointment, I'm dressed very casual, like sweats and a t-shirt. But if I'm meeting with clients, I'm wearing at least a polo and some pants. I got to look presentable. But yeah. I haven't worn a suit in a long time, actually. But
well, why would you if you're the boss? That's why every time you see someone in a suit and tie, 9 times out of 10, they work for someone that's dressing like us. Yeah. Because if you could pick what the hell you're going to wear, why would you wear that monkey suit?
It's a bomb right there.
Hey, you want to spend an hour a week with me helping you become a business badass? Well, check out my group in the link below.
Now, again, I always say I will wear a suit if I'm being married or being buried. Okay, married or buried. That's when you'll catch me in a suit.
Yeah.
Now, I might change my mind, quite honestly, because, dude, I used to wear suits and, man, it felt good. Like, I thought I was just freaking styling. But now it's just like, dude, I think a nice pair of shoes, kick-ass watch, T-shirt, you look like you're cooler.
Yeah. And suits are
like you could be a billionaire, dude, but the dude in the suit's probably not. Why? Why would you choose that to wear? And billionaires can do whatever they want.
Exactly.
So is your plan to be a billionaire? Yes or no?
That's not what's on my mind. No.
What's on your mind?
That's not my goal.
You're 26. You're probably bringing down, nice little chunk of change, right?
Yeah. I'm doing all right.
Where to most people will never get to, mind you. You know that, right? Like you're already to a level where most people, Jason, will never get. Ever. Most people will never get where you've already freaking got. Matter of fact, surpassed it.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do now?
It's funny you say that because, yeah, I mean, I've probably surpassed my parents 10x. Bought my original goal was to retire my mom because I was a shitty son. I was a terrible kid growing up, caused her a lot of trouble. She made a ton of sacrifices to raise me and my brother. So that's like the first thing that fueled me to success. I bought her a triplex in San Diego. She gets cash flow from that.
Did you tell her she had to live there?
No. She was
fraud. I thought you had to live there.
It's an investment property.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's an investment. So no one has to live there. That's me or my family. But
if you get an FHA loan for your first, let's say fourplex,
you have to live there.
You have to live in one of the units. You can move out the day after.
6 months.
Oh, is it 6 months?
That's like the technical time. Yes. That's like if you want to do it by the book.
Now, what about all those people that say, you don't really have to live there?
I mean, I'll be honest. I've done it once.
But is it technically against the rules?
Yeah, technically it is.
You're not going to jail for that, are you? Could they say that's bank fraud, son?
I don't know. I haven't really looked into it.
Because when you get the loan from the bank, aren't you saying I'm going to live there? Now, see, my intentions at the time of me signing this document was full on living there. But after the deal closed and as I was preparing to move into my new unit, I noticed this area is not the kind of area that I would feel safe in. So I had to make other arrangements.
It's a good excuse. Yeah, you can always fight it. Everything.
I didn't know it was a dangerous area, brother. I've got kids. I can't live here. And by the way, I was fully intending to when I signed this document. That's how you keep it from being any kind of fraud because you tell the truth. And the truth is you fully intended on living there. But for some reason, some weird fluke, you're not.
Plans change.
Plans do change.
Yep.
Now, can the bank take your building back?
They can call the loan if they want to, yes. So they can say, pay us off or, we're going to take the building.
How long do they give you?
Well, it would go into like, if they call the loan and you can't pay the loan off in full, which most people probably can't.
Within how long though? What's calling the loan mean? 30 days? You got 30 days?
Yeah, like 30 days to pay. Yeah, whatever
So
time.
a bank right now could call you and say all the money they've lent you for all those properties you got, they could call you right now and say, Jason, we want all the money.
So every bank is different. There are banks that have that in their clause. So that happened a lot in 2008, 2010. People can, whenever they want, call the loan. But in our loan docs, most of them cannot. They have to give us some sort of like reasoning or notice, like we have to default for some reason.
Now, is that a negotiation point?
It is. Yes, it is. And most people don't know that because a lot of banks do put in their loan documents when you get a loan, us, the bank, can make you pay this loan whenever we want. It happens.
But again, that don't make any sense. Like, dude, you just said I'll have 30 years of payments, and now you're saying you can accelerate the note anytime you want. Well, what if I can't get the money? Well, then you get the building. What if there's a bunch of equity? It doesn't matter. Is that true? Because I can't believe when people lose their homes, commercial or otherwise, and they have equity. Well, I've seen people or heard of people that literally, for example, bought too many homes that they couldn't afford back in the bust. And then ultimately, one of them, it boiled down to they had about $700,000 equity in this house, but they needed 1 point something million to pay it off or they're screwed. And the bank goes into foreclosure and they take the house. And that's what happened. They lost their house. And I'm like, how do you lose your house when you have $700,000 in equity? Why wouldn't you just sell it for $500,000 and walk away?
Yeah, they
pay it off and walk away with a nickel.
Yeah, they should have sold it. Because you never want a foreclosure on your record because then you're never financeable again.
Ever? Is that true?
If you have a foreclosure on your record, you will never get a loan in your name again. I mean, it's going to be extremely hard from a traditional
that
bank.
Or a tax lien.
Yeah.
Tax liens, they will not finance you unless you get that shit paid off.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. I had a tax lien on one of my properties because I forgot to pay it. It was like, a couple days late, but the bank that I was getting a loan through pointed it out and they said, you got to pay this or we're not going to do the loan. I was like, yeah, no problem. But some people can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing good at 26 years old. I interrupted your change subjects when I said, what's next? So what's next?
Yeah, no worries. Well, the reason why I brought up my parents is because my dad, this is an interesting story. My dad just put a 300 grand home equity line of credit at my parents' house. And they took their savings. My dad took my savings without telling my mom. And he put almost 400 grand into like a crypto scam, like a scheme, and he can't get his money out. And they're 400 grand in the hole. My mom called me like a couple of days before this podcast. And that's what I'm dealing with now. So that's what's next for me, is having to solve that situation.
Well, you can solve it easily.
Yeah, I can solve it for him. But it's the fact that my dad going behind my mom's back is the tough part, you know? That's the real issue here. It's not the money, it's him doing that.
Well, that's where I'd like take dad out for lunch by himself and say, Dad,
yeah,
what are you doing, buddy?
Yeah. It's tough. But bigger picture, past family.
Is it same mom and dad the whole time? Like no divorces?
Yeah, same. Mm-hmm.
That's good. So you're like from probably a good, well-raised family. So it's surprising that your dad would do that.
I mean, just like every family, we had our issues,
but maybe your dad's to the point where it's like, it's fucking mine. I don't need to get her permission.
I think he's just being dumb. He's not very financially literate.
Well, he probably knew that she ain't going to approve of that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, good thing they got a son that can bail them out, because man, people can get in serious shit about that. I know a lot of people I don't know a lot of people. When I say that, I should say, I've heard of a lot of people that have gotten in trouble with those crypto scams.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also known a lot of people that get paid in those crypto scams.
Yeah. High risk, high reward.
Yeah. I know a buddy of mine. I'll tell you right now, I could get him on the phone with you. He's got jets, unbelievable car collection, travels houses all over the world, living a pimp life, dude. Pimp life. He can show you right now over 300 million in ETH. His Ethereum account has over 300 million in it. You think that's all the money he has?
No.
And guess what he started with?
How much?
$40,000.
What? Oh my gosh.
He had $40,000 and he bought ETH. And then that turned into a little bit more and he bought more ETH. And then he borrowed against the ETH. So it was a loan, tax free. And then bought more ETH and bought more ETH and bought more ETH. And now he's got 300 million in ETH. Now he will do an NFT here and there, buy this and sell that. In the crypto world, there's crazy shit going on where literally you can buy a coin that no one's ever heard of and sell it. And at the end of the day, make $1 million. Crypto trading. Like that shit's real. People are making money doing that.
Yeah.
But when someone's making $1 million, someone's losing $1 million.
True.
Yeah. Well, they're losing $1 million for you to make your $1 million.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If you sold your stock at X and I'm buying it, well, now the stock dropped. Who loses? Not you. You're out. You sold it to me. I lose.
Yep.
So someone's losing.
Yep.
That's why I don't really play the stock market, because to me, it's an inside game.
Me neither.
It's an inside game, bro. And I know people that will say, hey, I'll call you when we're about to move the market so you can get in and get out with us and you'll make 300% on your money. And dude, I know people doing that. And
really?
Well, I don't know if it's legit, but I know it's real that they're doing that.
Yeah.
Because they keep telling me to get in, put 20 grand in, put 50 grand in. That's nothing for you. I'm like, is it illegal? Like, see, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
So if your dad got suckered.
He got suckered.
And he got all hyped up. It must have been someone he trusted. It couldn't have been some slick ass salesman. I'll bet you anything. Your dad has a friend that got him into it.
Well, you're right, because it was like his old security guard buddy. Yeah. So you're 100% right. That's exactly what happened.
See?
Yeah.
See?
A friend that didn't know anything about crypto but trusted him.
Yeah, he sold your dad. Your
Yeah.
dad's like, fuck that, dude. I'll take everything I got.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it in there. And he could have been right. So Dad, if you're listening, dude, I don't blame you for trying. Wasn't that bright, but I don't blame you for trying. Because, dude, someone's got to try once in a while.
Yeah.
There's people that won't let go of what they have, even though they don't want it, to try and get what they want. I've asked people, why don't you just stop that and go do this then? And they're like, because I don't want to have nothing. And I'm like, so you're afraid to let go of what you don't want. You admitted you don't want it because what you really want is this, but you don't want to potentially lose this to try for that. Because
Exactly.
what if I don't get it? Is there logic? Well, then I lose both. No, you don't. You can always go back and get this shit. This is the worst case scenario.
Yep.
Like, dude, if you didn't try to get into commercial real estate, you might just be a regular old dude living at your mom's house.
Yeah.
Playing Call of Duty. Do you play any games?
I don't know. I do not.
Not chess, nothing?
I've been playing a little bit of chess lately, actually online with some friends, but
you're not in real
game.
You're not in Andrew Tate's Real World or anything? Learning how to get rich?
No, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know.
That guy's getting so popular. I'm thinking about becoming an affiliate for his ass. Yeah, everybody's falling in line for that.
He's got a big audience.
Oh, dude, it's worldwide now.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
Like how? What do you think of a brand helping you in commercial real estate?
What kind of brand?
Any kind of brand.
Any kind of brand? I mean, like you said,
like right now, dude. If Andrew Tate told his minions and legions that, hey, you need to buy commercial real estate, and get in his, ways of saying that you're dumb if you don't, and you're his guy, your shit would blow up.
Oh yeah.
So that's like what I'm saying. Like, how do you what do you think about that attention that you can get? No one's probably ever going to get it like he did. He was nobody, and now he's freaking like worldwide known. That's unrealistic. But what's realistic is 75,000 followers you got. I'll bet you anything within a year or two, that'll be 250, 300. Maybe something goes viral and it's quicker. But dude, 75,000 real followers is enough to make an impact.
Mm-hmm.
You can post, 3 times a day with 75,000 followers, and I'll bet you 10% of them don't even see it.
True.
People don't realize that. They're like, 75,000. If I can just get 10% of them to buy this, that's 7,500.
Yeah.
And that'd make me a millionaire. Yeah. But the problem is when you post something, you think it goes out to all those people. It doesn't.
No.
They don't even see it. I know people that follow me and don't see shit that I post. So it doesn't work that way. But my point is what do you think about building a brand?
Well, that's what that's like my long-term vision too. I'm trying to build a brand. But that's a long game, right? It takes a long time to do that. So
it's actually not a long game, because to me, long games are 10 years plus. You can do it in 3 to 4. So it's longer, but it's not that long.
Got it.
I mean, dude, you could be massively famous by fucking 30. How old are you? 26. That's 4 measly ass years. That ain't long term.
True.
You'd be 30, freaking rolling around. Now, do you have a Lambo? Do you have a Ferrari? Do you have anything kick ass and flaunting?
I just have a Mercedes.
So no.
I don't have anything super flaunting. I'm not a flaunting kind of guy.
Well, I know, but I'm just telling you, for social media purposes, I'm telling you, a fucking Lambo and a Ferrari or some stupid shit, or flying private and showing it gets you more followers.
Yeah. Is that what you do?
No. You follow me? Or
I
no?
do. I've never seen that. I only see you just drop funny funny, valuable content.
That's all I do. Why? Well, because that's what I'm doing. I'm not building a look at me. I live a great lifestyle brand, but top mogul, like look at Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
Have you seen his jets?
Yes.
Rolls Royces.
Yes.
Big, flaunting houses. Well, that's because he wants you to know he's a billionaire, which I doubt he is, but he's close to it. But he's rich as fucking, successful as fucking. That's why everybody wants to fucking go buy his shit. So if you're in that game, dude, and you're like Mr. Conservative, where you have a nice conservative Mercedes. You live in a nice conservative home. You go on nice conservative, you're going to get an audience. It just won't be a big one.
That's weird how that works though.
I know, but it's the truth.
If you drop a lot of knowledge like yourself, which is the kind of brand that I want to have, why is that? Just because people like the flashy stuff?
Because people want to be you, and nobody wants to be rich and boring.
True. It's a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it that way.
Like, people want to be rich and fucking live your life like, God damn, dude. Fucker gets to wake up and drive those cars. Look at his chick's hot. His fucking kids are gorgeous. He fucking goes from here to here. His parents are awesome. This guy's killing it. And then you come out and we're like, look, I can help you kill it too. Cha-ching. But if you're like a real dude, you don't need to do all that. Like look at Warren Buffett. People say, well, Warren Buffett drives a truck and lives in Ada, Oklahoma in his old original house. That may be true, but he also does have jets. Okay. Number one. Number two, let's be honest. Would you trade places with Warren Buffett for his money?
At his age?
Right now. You trade places.
No.
fuck me either.
No.
And I'm way older. So again, you wouldn't trade places with Warren Buffett. So why is he all of a sudden the one to be? He isn't. People are talking about his money.
Yeah.
They're talking about the options and the freedom he must feel when he wakes up. Well, he doesn't exercise them. He doesn't exercise that option. Or guess what? He's happy with McDonald's, and good for him. Because to me, regardless of how much money you have, that's when you're happy, right? When you are content and you are satisfied and you are happy with everything. If I go to McDonald's and drive an old piece of shit and I got $1 billion, I'm no better than the person that's fucking eating at McDonald's driving a piece of shit with no money.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm no better, but I might be happy. And if I'm happy, well, then I'm better than the person that's making millions of dollars and he's miserable every day, spending no time doing nothing.
For sure.
I'm better than that guy.
Yeah. I mean, being wealthy is only being wealthy.
I'm better off, I should note. Yeah. Not better. I don't want all the hate mail. I'm better off.
I mean, to add upon that, but being financially wealthy is you're only wealthy in one aspect of life, right? There's a lot of other aspects of life you can be wealthy in. If you're someone who has no friends, but you have a $50 million net worth versus someone who has a normal W-2 job, has a ton of friends, great family, loves what he does, I think that person's richer, the second person.
Well, you'd have to say real friends for me to believe that.
Real friends.
Because a lot of people's friends aren't really friends at all.
True.
And it's pretty obvious, but nobody wants to admit it. And nobody wants to weed out the ones that aren't technically friends. Because people are like, dude, I got a ton of friends. Really?
Yeah.
Are they all friends?
Yeah.
Because you start auditing your friends, you start to realize that's not necessarily a friend.
It's an acquaintance.
It's an acquaintance or someone that you drink with sometimes. You know, he's fun. You laugh, you giggle, you fucking go golf, whatever. But they're not necessarily your friend.
Yeah.
A friend, by definition, wouldn't do half the shit those people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
So when and how do you weed out the shit balls from the real friends?
My answer, I think, just comes down to the people who are going to have your back in the rough times. I mean, my closest friends are the friends that had my back when I was miserable, when I was going through bad times, or when I really needed them by my side. So I think the ones who are there for you for the good times and the bad times are the ones you can really call your real friends.
So how do you weed them out?
I mean, like actively try to weed them out.
Yeah. Which you should be doing, by the way.
That I don't have an answer for.
I do.
Okay, let's hear it.
Coincidentally.
Yeah.
Don't I have an answer for everything?
I don't know how to weed out a friend.
The reason why someone says one day, Brad, you always have an answer for everything. And I corrected him. I said, that's not true. I have an opinion on everything. It's not always the answer. It's just an opinion, and I'm entitled to one.
True.
And so are other people, but they don't feel entitled to their opinion. Why? Well, I've never done anything. Well, I've never really accomplished anything. This is the problem with America. You have no value in yourself. Like, that's why you don't validate yourself. You let everybody else validate you. You know, don't be the person that lets everybody validate you or seek validation from other people and their approval. It's stupid. Would you agree?
I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, that's what most people's problem is they're too afraid to say anything, which means they'll never say anything.
Yeah.
And if you're not really saying anything, you ain't doing anything. And real friends, you know, you should actively weed out like on a regular basis. And here's how you do it, by the way. You pretend that there is some sort of trouble.
Pretend?
You pretend that there's some trouble, man.
Okay.
Dude, knock on your buddy's door. And again, if you're longtime best friends, I ain't saying test everybody, but let's say that you got a new dude, new girl, you know, hey, things are cool, we're hanging out. Let me see if they're a real friend. They answer the door. What's up? Bro, you're never going to believe it, man. You got some time though? Yeah, what's up? Come in. Dude, everything I got's gone. I fucked up. I need a place to live and $10,000 loan so I can get it all back. Now, if they're like, hey, dude, hey now, dude, that ain't your friend. Okay. Now, what if they don't have 10 grand, Brad? You can tell. If they don't have 10 grand, tell them, hey, can you get a loan on your car? Like, you know people, don't you? Yeah, I mean, if they ain't got 10 grand, what the fuck you hanging out with them for anyway? but let's pretend they ain't got 10 grand. They're just good old friends that don't have 10 grand. Well, are they willing to get it? Are they willing to help you? Are they willing to support you? You can tell. So you just basically fake trouble. Now, some people might say, well, Brad, that's not ethical. Yes, it is. Well, I'd be pissed if my friend did that to me. Well, then you'd forgive him. Why? Well, because a friend will forgive you. Wouldn't they?
That is true.
So again, you can't argue or debate what I'm saying. The best way, and I'm not saying to do it, I'm saying the best way to weed out your friends is to fake trouble.
So you think it's okay to lie to weed out your friends?
Well, lie or fake trouble.
Isn't it the same thing?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Just like if a girl says, do I look fat in these jeans? And she does. You don't tell her yes. That's just going to hurt her feelings.
True.
Yeah, so you lie. There's a couple reasons you can lie, dude. One of them, which is if you're going to go to jail. If you're ever going to jail, dude, just fucking lie. Make them prove it. Never admit, deny, fucking ain't ever happening. Lie. If you're going to jail for long periods of time. I ain't talking about fucking stupid shit.
Yeah.
Number two, if someone's going to get hurt, like if I tell the truth, someone might get hurt, then I'm allowed to lie. What was the other one I thought of the other day? I mean, there's a few good reasons to lie.
Yeah.
So when you say, I'm weeding out my friends, so I got to lie to them. Well, a good friend wouldn't lie. True, but I'm also testing friendship. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's okay then.
Yeah.
Just like, let's say you marry your wife, she's acting a little bit different. And you say to her, hey, let me see your phone. And she says, what do you want my phone for? And you say, because I want to see the conversations you've been having. And she says, blah, 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 blah. And bottom line is, if you have to check my things, you don't trust me. And if you don't trust me, we shouldn't be together. What do you think of that?
She might be hiding something.
Why wouldn't she just hand you her phone?
Yeah.
If my wife comes up to me right now and says, hey, where's your phone? There's my phone. She's got passwords to all my social media. And yes, I guarantee you she stalks it. Meaning one time someone said, do you get any naked pictures of girls and stuff? And I said, no, not really. And she goes, yes, he does. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, Brad, you always get sent stuff like that. And I'm
Do
like,
you really?
I guess, but I never see it because she's already in there cleaning it out.
Okay.
But I don't see, I've seen a few, but I don't see that many. And I thought that, that just doesn't happen because everybody knows I'm happy with my boo. When in reality, my boo is in there getting rid of all the shit and blocking them.
Wow.
And I don't mind. Why? Because I have no intention of cheating. Because I realize that cheating, believe it or not, isn't cheating on her, it's cheating on me. And then that chips away your self-esteem. And then pretty soon you have no confidence. And then pretty soon you're seeking validation from others. And now you're right back in the rat race, unhappy, depressed. Where did commercial real estate conversation go clear over what we're talking about now?
I don't know.
Whoever's going to hear this is going to be like, Jason, didn't you go up there to talk about commercial real estate? But I thought we did.
Yeah, we did a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. I've enjoyed the conversation.
Well, to wrap up, what do you want the Bomb Squad to know about you and or commercial real estate?
About me, to wrap up, I've got a free course coming out. So I've got a free course on how to invest in multifamily real estate. So
where do they find that?
Right now, I don't know when this comes out, but right now you can just DM me on Instagram at Jason Joseph Lee and we'll send you a copy.
That's awesome. Jason Joseph Lee, folks, on Instagram. You should follow him no matter what if you're into commercial real estate. I would say if you're in real estate at all, like residential, I would start thinking about adding commercial. Because to me, if I sell a $30 million building, I'm going to make more than I sell a, $400,000 house.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, the realtors that I see, and I don't see them all, but this research that I look at seems to suggest that 90% of real estate agents aren't making any money. And then I asked a couple of them, what do you do? It's all residential. And then when I hear about commercial people, and most of the ones I've talked to are pretty successful, but there's not a lot of them.
Yeah.
And then I asked the real estate agents, well, why don't you go sell buildings? I didn't know it was called commercial back then. Why don't you just go sell buildings? Oh, you sell those few and far between. Is that true?
That's not true at all.
See their mindset? Their mindset is, well, those are big. You only sell one of those every 2 years. I can sell a house every month. Yeah. You can sell buildings every month.
Yeah. That's definitely limited belief for sure. My average transaction value in 2021 when I really blew up was like $3 million, and I sold 48 of them.
So if I were a real estate agent not doing too well in the residential space and I wanted to take your course, by the time I'm done with your course, would I be pretty savvy in selling or getting into the commercial game?
You'd be savvy at looking at investment property for yourself. But if you want to be an agent, I actually don't have anything for that yet. I have some stuff on my YouTube channel.
You should make that, dude, because there's a lot of realtors struggling and they want to be realtors, but there's no money. And that's why people quit. That's why the turnover is so high.
Yeah.
So if you had a legitimate how to sell commercial real estate course, I bet you could find a big market in the real estate agents on the residential side.
Yeah. It's a good point. It's a great point.
How many other commercial realtors do you know?
Besides my team, I mean, there's probably like 30 brokers in my market that really do deals. Like it's the same with commercial. Like 80% of the business is done by 20% of the agents in commercial as well. So there's like 30 people in my market doing deals.
If you ever find a deal that's so good, you call me, because I say, hey, if you ever find a deal, call me, right? Call me.
Yeah.
I want to invest. And it's so good. Why are you calling me? Why wouldn't the commercial agent just do the deal themselves? Because they can't, because they don't have the money. Is there too many? Like, why are you calling me?
Yeah, several reasons. So one reason is if you are representing the seller, you can't be the buyer. That's like a huge conflict of interest. So that's one reason. Another reason, they don't have the money, they don't have the resources, or those are the top 3 reasons. So most brokers don't buy property. It's kind of interesting. Most commercial brokers in my market aren't actively buying.
Why though? That's what makes me suspicious. Like, if it's such a good deal, bro, why ain't you taking it?
Well, okay. So the other answer to that is the reason why I'm not taking it, or one of my agents aren't taking it, is because if I find you a really good deal and I make you a ton of money, you're going to be a client for life. So you're going to sell that property with me. You're going to buy more property, and I've built a great relationship. And I've done deals where I've given the best of deals to my clients, and I've done 8 to 10 deals in the same year with that same person. So it's all about building that relationship. And that's the best way to do it, is finding someone a good deal, making someone money.
Well, add me to your list. I would look at stuff.
Okay.
Not like skyscrapers yet, but
yeah.
decent
deals. Sized properties.
Decent sized deals.
Yeah.
I'm not buying, 480 unit apartment homes yet.
Yeah,
I want to get there though. I love the concept of owning apartments.
Yeah.
Especially the bigger, nicer ones that you always see them full. I don't see empty apartment buildings when I drive by these nice ones, going towards my house.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's a nice building. It's always full. Cars lots are packed. Pools are packed. It's a good business, no?
It is. It's a great business.
What about in the small towns where you go get a killer deal because the tenant has owned it the landlord has owned it for 30 years. The tenant's been paying the same rent for 30 years. There's no improvements, no nothing. And you walk in there, buy the joint at a fraction, raise the rents, improve the property, increase the amenities, raise the rent, and basically double your money in these small towns. Why wouldn't you just hang out in small towns and do that all day?
What do you call a small town?
Like 50,000 or less.
50,000 people or less. Well, I mean, the reason for that is because you can find those deals in big markets.
Where? Find me one.
I find them all the time.
Well, fucking call me next time. Because
Okay.
I always tell everybody, hey, look, and I never hear from anybody.
Okay.
But I'm looking for one of those killer deals.
I'll keep that in mind.
Where like, Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
This guy's owned it for 20 years. He ain't raised the rent in 6 years. All you'd have to do is go in there and clean this up and clean that up, raise the rent, and your building would double. And you could go literally get a line of equity on your loan that would make you a profit, and you still own the building and the cash flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, where's those deals? I want one. I want 2.
Yeah. No, that's that kind of property that you just named is what me and my clients buy. That's like the number one property that I buy.
Okay, dude. So if you guys are listening and you want one of those properties, you know who to call now. My man, Jason Lee at JLM Real Estate. You can find him at jlmrealestate.com. You can find him at Jason Joseph Lee on Instagram. The links and everything in the podcast will be below where you can also find them if you forget. Appreciate you coming up. Dude, good luck. I'm proud to see a little 26-year-old dude running around doing so well already.
Thanks, Brad.
And folks, as always, till next time, keep it real.
And you start to see it as almost a tool. Because how you dress governs how you feel, and how you feel determines how you do. And people are judging you. So go through your closet. Go throw away the shit you don't want. Go throw away the shit you shouldn't be wearing. Get rid of it. It'll create space for something new.